We're Group 6, presenting our web application, Myne, which helps users gain control of their finances through visualizations of their spending habits. Meet Susan. She's about to graduate from college and take on the real world. Though she worked part-time throughout school, it was not enough to support her spending habits. Susan is out of control when it comes to eating out and shopping throughout the week. Since she's too lazy to set up her bank's mobile app, and quite frankly intimidated by the possibility of data overload, her transactions stay out of sight and out of mind. Until, that is, she receives her credit card bill at the end of each month. Susan realizes she is in trouble. Soon she'll graduate and have to start paying off her student loans. Susan decides to try Myne. From the landing page of Myne, users can sign up or log in. When signing up, users are asked for their first name, last name, email, and password, and they're required to confirm their email. We're going to assume Susan has already created her account and show you what it's like to log in. To log in, users just need to enter their email and password. There's two features to mention on this page. One is that users will be locked out of their account if 5 failed login attempts are made, and also users have the ability to reset their passwords if desired. On the user's Quick Look dashboard, they will first be prompted to connect their financial accounts. We use Plaid, an API that allows us to connect to financial accounts to create a seamless experience. With Plaid, the user can connect to various types of accounts. We can connect to everything from top banks, such as Bank of America, to local banks, such as Commerce. Users are also able to connect financial accounts related to student loans, such as Great Lakes, or investments, such as Betterment. However, for today, let's go ahead and connect a Bank of America account. It's worth mentioning that we will be using development credentials today, and therefore any account and transaction data is randomly generated. After hitting submit, our application will start retrieving financial data from the corresponding accounts. The user will then be taken to the Finances page, where they can see all of their connected accounts and their balances. If the user wanted to connect more accounts, they can easily hit the Link Your Bank Account button to do so. Let's go to the dashboard, where the user can start to visualize their personal finances. The dashboard is split into net worth, spending habits, spending categories, and a search feature on top. First, let's look at net worth. Net worth is where the user can see how they're doing financially over time. Because Susan just created this account, the information is pretty limited. However, the user's net worth would ideally grow over time visually on this chart. The next card is spending habits, which is a breakdown of how the user is spending their money throughout the week. In this case, the user tends to spend a lot more money on Saturdays than they do on Thursday. The last card is spending categories. Spending categories is a breakdown of what specifically the user is spending their money on. The user can explore their top 3 spending categories using this tabbed interface. Finally, the last feature of the dashboard is our search function. The user can ask different types of questions about their personal finance here. In this case, let's ask how much the user normally spends on fast food. Here, the user can see a breakdown of how much they've been spending on fast food in the past few months. Another feature of Myne is receiving tailored recommendations. In Susan's case, the user is a student who is about to graduate with student loans. Myne has therefore made the recommendations to learn more about investing as the user gets ready to move to the workforce, but also advice on how to handle her student loans. We chose a CSS framework that would allow our app to also be mobile responsive. Gaining visibility into her spending habits helped Susan realize how she could effectively cut back. She learned how to cook to curb her love of eating out, and and instead of shopping for clothes at boutiques, she now shops for used clothing online. Myne helped Susan understand the impact of her daily purchases without overloading her with statistics or transaction data. She looks forward to checking her account each week to see how her spending trends are improving. In the fall, we conducted research through interviews to better understand our target user demographic. We discovered a high level of algorithmic trust in young adults and a desire to visualize transactions separated by category. The data from these interviews was kept central to the vision of our application throughout the year. We used the Ruby on Rails framework to develop our application and the API Plaid to handle financial information. Plaid is an API that enables and facilitates the ability to connect users' bank accounts to our application securely. We also used the library HighCharts to create our visualizations of financial data in a clear and concise manner through a variety of chart types. For the front end of our application, we used the CSS framework Bootstrap. We also worked with a graphic design student at KU to develop a visual identity that reflected Myne's values. We are Group 6, consisting of Hannah Johnson, Ashley Hutton, Rebel Marte, and Joshua Wu. Thanks for listening.